Hey, this is Alicia Bruce Trujillo from Colorful Colorado Collaboration. Coming to you from Occupied Ute, Arapaho, and Cheyenne land. We're actually in Colorado at Doghouse Music. Episode Collaboration 1. I'm here with Lolita, our singer-songwriter. Also Celeste Martinez, my co-founder and owner of Celeste La Alegría. And we've also got Betsy Lay from Lady Justice Brewing on Zoom, because you know she's working at the brewery. How's it going, everybody?
Going good. It's been great.
I am so excited for this. We have been talking about it for a couple of months, and it's finally here. So tonight we're actually going to be doing a live performance with Lolita and her all-star band. I'm so excited for this, but also kind of talking about what Colorful Colorado Collaborations is. So we'll kind of get this in motion here. The first collaboration does bring together Celeste La Alegría. That's what we've named the Hazy IPA after. It was inspired at Lady Justice Brewing in Aurora. And there's a QR code here on there where you can get Lolita's latest single, Toda Mi Gente, featuring Big Samir of The Reminders. So yeah, we will get into this performance here in a moment. I'm super excited. So let's get to know you a little bit better, Lolita. You are a singer-songwriter from around here in Denver. How did you get your start in music? Tell us a little bit about your history as a singer-songwriter.
Yeah, of course. Well, I've always loved music. My dad used to play the guitar and sing while I was growing up. Originally, I thought I was going to go to college for creative writing because I started off as a poet. Up to my own surprise, just blurting out, I want to do music, and that's how that happened. So here we are. But yeah, everything kind of organically came together. I met Owen Trujillo, which is part of 2MX2. I met him in school at CU Denver in music law class, and I helped him pass that class. And so from there, we just kind of organically started doing music together, writing together. I started meeting people because they're like kind of, you know, vets in the game, you know, here in Denver. So they knew a lot of people, and they really helped me and mentored me to where I'm at right now.
That's awesome. So yeah, you are a part of the hip-hop group 2MX2, which is also here in Denver. More local music. We have been, of course, kind of talking more about Toda Mi Gente featuring Big Samir of The Reminders. That's what you can get when you get the Celeste La Alegría Hazy IPA. So we'll talk a little bit about that here in a moment. You're also going to be performing it hopefully later tonight. Yes. But you've also got a couple of other singles out now that you released throughout 2020. So tell us a little bit more about what you've been doing throughout the quarantine.
Yeah, of course. Well, started off really slow. Once the quarantine hit, I kind of became a hermit and crawled into my shell and started focusing on things that I had kind of put aside and didn't have the time to do since I was so busy with like live shows and, you know, like live events and stuff. I got the time to focus on the things I really love that I had been just putting on the back burner, things like reading, focusing on my garden, learning about the things that I'm interested in, like astrology and you know, metaphysics, different stuff like that. And it's been great. I'm still doing all that. But now the momentum is starting, and I've been writing more, going to the studio and putting down ideas. And I'm pretty sure some new music will be coming soon. That's what I've been doing. Yeah.
And yeah, I've seen you're super busy as Lolita, but also 2MX2, so a lot of live streams in the past couple of weeks, and you've got more coming up.
Yes.
Is there anything outside of Colorful Colorado Collaborations that is particularly exciting for you?
Yes, I'm actually part of Local 303 for Latin Heritage Month this month of September, and I'm going to be performing live again with Local 303 on Monday.
Oh, that's with Indie 102.3.
Indie 102.3, that's right.
I'm so excited for that. Anytime we get to see you perform is great. So you started out with poetry and moved into music. Tell me more about your writing process, either with 2MX2 or with your own solo work.
So my writing process is, I kind of like to listen to the music, like our producer DMD might send me something that he made, and I'll just take a listen to it and see what it makes me feel. And once I have like that feeling, you know, what it brings up inside of me, I'll go into the booth and I'll just start freestyling harmonies, melodies, ideas, raps, and just kind of filling it out, and something comes together from that.
Absolutely.
And that's usually how I do it, but sometimes it's like a collaboration between the band and everyone kind of just sits and talks and figures it out.
Well, and perfect segue there. I was going to ask you about your collaborations with different artists here in the community. You know, your music video is featuring a local animator. You also have worked with Big Samir on this brand new one, and you're also a part of 2MX2. And you know, we've got some special guests here with your band tonight. So tell me more about working with people in the community with art and music.
I feel like collaborations are near and dear to my heart. I feel like I learn so much from all the talented people that are around me, and it just gives me an opportunity to grow, listening to the different ideas that everyone brings to the table. With Big Samir and the Reminders, I love the Reminders. Like, anytime I go to their show, and I've said this before, I'm crying. Like, I'm crying at their concerts because the love in the room is just absolutely overwhelming, and I love it. So being able to have a song with Big Samir is just, it's great, you know, because they've been such a big inspiration. The crazy part about it is that 2MX2 actually just did a collaboration.
I was just gonna say, with
Yes,
Asia, yeah?
with Asia, and that song is amazing, and I think they're working on a music video to come out with that, which is also going to be by Creative Hearts. So a lot of collabs, a lot of love.
And
Yeah.
I think that speaks to where you stand in the community as well. So it's really great to have you here. If you could collaborate with anybody in the entire world, who do you think that might be?
That would be Residente.
Hey, all right. All right, so I'm super excited for this performance, and that's coming up. But I also want to talk to Betsy Lay of Lady Justice Brewing. Like I said, she's joining us from Zoom. She's at the brewery right now. Hi, Betsy. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good to see your face, even if it is way out there in Aurora.
Yes, I'm way out here in Aurora, East Colfax.
All right. Okay. So first off, thank you so much for helping us with this collaboration with this beer, the Celestial Alegría Hazy IPA. I want to get into a little bit more about Lady Justice, but first tell us about this particular beer, the Hazy IPA.
Yeah, so this beer, the direction that we were given from Celeste was to just make sure that it brought people joy. So I gave that direction to our brewer, Amy, and she came back with a beer that uses hops that bring out notes of strawberry and lemon. So she was going for this like sort of end of summer strawberry lemonade sort of feel with it. It cleared up a bit. So it's not as hazy as it was supposed to be, which sometimes just happens, which is fine. It's delicious. That's all that matters. So it's more of a clear IPA than a hazy one at this point, but the taste is there. And I'm really happy with how it ended up. And people in the tap room have been trying it since we tapped it last week, and they've just been loving it. There's not many IPAs out there that have these strawberry and lemon, you know, notes of other foods. Hops is just something that you don't get to see all of the time. So it was cool the ingredients in that way and come up with something a little bit unique and new for us. It's a brand new beer. We had never brewed this recipe before. So it was just really, really fun to be a little bit creative and go outside our usual box of what we offer.
I absolutely love it, and I think it is perfect, especially because, you know, it snowed yesterday. Yeah, end of summer. So I want to talk a little bit more about Lady Justice. There is a lot of collaboration that goes on with your brewery, with Chelsea Lewinsky, the artist, also beer earlier this year. So tell me about collaborating more in the community and why that's so important to you.
Yeah, so we consider ourselves a community-based brewery. We wouldn't exist, we wouldn't be here without our community supporting us. So we try to do everything we can to give back in that way. And so we are a philanthropic brewery. We donate as much of our profits over cost as we can. We always are aiming for 51% or more. And we give to Colorado nonprofits that work with women and girls. And so when we started, in my past life, I was a Denver musician. And so I know a lot of musicians, and just as conversations would come up with what Lady Justice was doing and what my friends were doing in their own music careers, it just sort of made sense to be like, hey, what if we made a beer that sort of supported what you were doing, and we could get you some new fans just by introducing, you know, a new beer to our customers. And so that's really how it started. And for me, what it does is it allows us to introduce new music to our beer drinkers, but also get some of these musicians fans to walk in our doors and maybe experience a brewery that they've never experienced before, which is one that is just so community focused and community based. And yeah, so for us, it's just about doing good things with people that we really love.
Well, we love that here, obviously, at Colorful Colorado Collaborations. And if you haven't been to the brewery out in Aurora, it features this beautiful mural that has Dolores Huerta, also Marsha P. Johnson, and of course, RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So, of course, three powerful and inspirational women. Why did you choose those three to put up on the wall? And this is done by Chelsea Lewinsky from here in Denver as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so the mural went up as a part of Colfax Canvas, which was a project that the city of Aurora put on to just sort of highlight all the amazing mural artists that we have in Denver, in the Denver area. And so new murals went up all over the Aurora Cultural Arts District, and we were just lucky enough to be a part of it. And so Aaron Vega, who headed up that event, put us in touch with Chelsea and just said, hey, I think this would be a great match. I know you want a mural here. I think Chelsea's the woman to do it. And so I met with Chelsea, and basically what I said is I've always envisioned the first time I saw the wall in the brewery, and I could probably give you a little bit of a peek of it without messing too much up, but
So you are a former musician. How did you get into brewing?
you know, it was a hobby at first. Did a lot of home brewing. And then I met Kate and Jen. We were serving in AmeriCorps together. So we were serving at a local nonprofit in Denver, doing capacity building and trying to fundraise for them during the recession. And it was really hard work. It was hard to raise money when nobody had it. And we would, at the time, when you serve in AmeriCorps, you live at the poverty level of the city in which you serve. And so the three of us were each making about $10,000 a year. And we found a way to scrap together money to every once in a while go out and grab beers. And so so one night Jen was like, how is it that we are making $10,000 a year during a recession and we're saving money to go buy beer? Like, there must be something really important about beer. And how cool would it be if the money that we spend on beer could also help nonprofits? And so that was just sort of the start of the idea. And so really the brewery was it was a problem to a fundraising issue that we were having. And so we started brewing a lot more once we knew that this idea was something we wanted to focus on. And So we spent 2 or 3 years just homebrewing together and fundraising and building our business plan. And now we opened our doors in 2016, and here we are 4 years later in our first tap room, and just doing it.
Well, we so appreciate you. Thank you again so much for brewing the Celestial Alegria Hazy IPA and for working with us on our very first collaboration. Really appreciate you, Betsy, from Lady Justice Brewing.
Heck yeah.
All right, so I'm going to talk now to my co-founder, Celeste Martinez. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm so excited. We're here. So Celeste is also the founder, owner, y jefa of Celestial Alegria. Tell me what you do with Celestial Alegria.
Yeah, well, Celestial Alegria is all about igniting joy through transformation. And through my business, I offer an array of services, including life coaching, facilitation, organizational development, and training programs. And so I partner with both individuals and organizations to undergo transformative processes, so that way they can really find more of their purpose, feel in alignment with that, because there's many cycles that we go through, right, of where we are in life or where we are in our work. And sometimes we just need that extra support and perspective and question to just know, like, what is this next step, or how can I go about, like, something new and different. So there's a bunch of projects that I've been up to, but I'm sure we'll talk about that.
We will absolutely talk about that. You have a background in community organization, but you stepped away from that to create this project that you're doing. What was the impetus for you to leave your previous work and really start your own entrepreneurial project, basically?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because around this time last year in September, I am a part of this program called Standing in Our Power. It's run by women of color and is focused on like multi-gendered, as well as just really investing in people of color to have strong facilitation, as well as just access to more like healing justice resources, right, for community organizing. And so a lot of my background has been community organizing since I was a student. I came to Colorado in 2011 and got super involved in immigrant rights, and then later like economic justice issues, police brutality work. And through all of that, I've like held a lot of different roles in community. And in my last job, I was kind of on this path of becoming a nonprofit executive director. And I had to really take a moment of pause. Like, is that really what I was called to? Was that like the best way to share my gifts with community? Is that really like the point of connection that I wanted and that was needed? And I just was realizing that like so many of these ideas, so many of the things that I had hoped to share with community were being put on the back burner more often than not. And also the reality is the burnout culture of like working in the nonprofit industrial complex is real. And I was having a lot of like health issues. Like it came to a point where I couldn't walk because of back pain that I was having last year. And I couldn't pinpoint why, even when I went to the doctor to try to figure it out. And so I knew I needed to make a shift. And I feel like heading into this like new decade, although 2020 has been super interesting so far, I just felt like I'm being really called towards balance. And I began to ask myself questions around that. What would create balance in my life? And so literally the week before the pandemic, I left my last job. And I was like, I'm going to take a personal sabbatical. I'm just going to take time to rest, and we'll see what emerges. I just had a lot of trust that whatever would come next for me would be really clear. And what emerged was Celestial Alegria and creating this, entrepreneurship, this business that allows me to have the momentum to share all of my gifts with community in a way that actually really meets people where they are and brings me joy. Because one of my greatest joys is coaching people and like witnessing people in those moments of transformation. And the other is like seeing visions come to life. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's been amazing that in my first 3 months, there are so many things that I've been able to accomplish because I just publicly launched my business in June. So lots happening.
Yeah, so 2020 is quite the year to kick all of this off, but it is a year where a lot of people do need healing and maybe need some guidance and need somebody to help guide them through that. And you've been doing a lot of other stuff on top of the coaching, on top of the facilitation. Tell me some more about these projects that you've been doing this summer specifically, and kind of what's next for you.
Yeah, you know, as I was publicly launching my business here in June, one of the main things that aligned with it was the height of the pandemic. We're still in the pandemic, obviously, and also the height of this recent uprising in defense of Black lives. And so, as someone who identifies as Chicana and has had a lot of access to many racial justice trainings and development over the years through the organizations that I've worked with, I really started to listen to community of like what's needed in this time, and like again, like what are my gifts, what do I have to share, like what is my role in this moment, and being really intentional. Because I mean, like 5 years ago I was the person with the megaphone, I was the person like, you know, at the protest, and it's not that that's not like valuable to me still, it definitely is, but I just came to this point of clarity that that wasn't my role in this moment. And one of my gifts is being a connector, right? Like people are reaching out to me like, how can I connect to donate like first aid things to people on the ground? And I was like, oh, well, I know the street medic, so I'll connect you with my friend. Or someone was like, oh, how do I get water to people? I was like, oh, I know this person. And like that just kept happening.
I had that conversation with you this time.
Yeah, yeah, we also had that conversation. And the other piece that kept happening is that a lot of folks in the Latinx and Chicanx community were reaching out to me and saying, well, what can I do right now? Like, where do I start to really understand? Or like, how do I have this conversation with my parents or my brother? And it's one thing when like one person or two people like reaches out to you with that question, but it was continuing to happen. And so I just paused and I was like, well, what are my gifts and what is possible? And what do I need, right? As a new entrepreneur, like I'm still getting my name out there, so it's not like I had a bunch of contracts. So I decided to create this program that has two parts. The Confronting Anti-Blackness program for Latinx and Chicanx folks. That's for about 20 participants. This first cohort has 15 people. But what it is a 10-week program where folks have access to racial equity training and political education to really go deep and confront anti-Blackness that is deep-seated in our, you know, Latinidad and Chicanismo. That is a reality of part of where we come from, because we come from the reality of colonization. And so being able to recognize that and have tools as well to disrupt that internally, and also to have conversations that still hold the integrity of our community and our families, is a part of what this program is all about. And so I'm ending this first cohort. It was super awesome to see some of my participants came to the beer launch last Thursday. And I saw a few of them picked up some cans yesterday too with the Snow Day promo, so that was awesome. But I believe like as much as we in community should do our internal work, and that's something that I believe anyone of any identity should be doing, we also need to take action and be in solidarity and accountability with our Black siblings. And so to complement this program, I've created the Reparations Network. And essentially what that is it cost me $5,000 to run this 10-week training program for about 20 people. And so what I've done is raise $5,000 to match that amount of money completely from community. And then each week as we go through the program, I pay $500 of reparations to 10 different Black leaders, artists, and Black-led organizations as a way for us to take that action of solidarity and to be a bridge, again, that connector, right? Because so many Latinx folks, so many brown folks are just not in relationship with our Black siblings. And because of what I've built in my community and relationships I've built in my life, I know that that is another way that I can share, right, for people to also have that access and do the same. So I'm running the next iteration of that here for October. So if you're interested in the Reparations Network, if you're interested, in this Confronting Anti-Blackness program, feel free to check out celestialalegria.com, or anything else with Celestial Alegria. It's all there. Don't worry.
Okay, so on top of all of that, now co-creating Colorful Colorado collaborations. And you and I have been working on this since mid-June, but kind of walk through this process that leads us to tonight.
Yeah. I feel like I was pretty ambitious about this idea, but I'm super happy with how it's all come together. It's so beautiful. So basically what happened is, it's quarantine. You're spending a lot of time on Instagram. So every day Bruce is always sharing really great stuff. And so there was like this one flyer for like a national concert series with like really big artists like Lauryn Hill, Chicano Batman, like several others. And what I noticed about this flyer is that those artists were partnering with small businesses in their hometowns and in their community. And when they were doing that, it was to raise money for them, right? Because of the impact of the pandemic. But I thought about like, oh, what would that be like? Because not just myself, but several of my other friends and colleagues who are also in the rest of this collaboration series are entrepreneurs. And like us getting our brand out there is like such a big part of our success. And I was like, well, here I am like putting forward this message around joy and transformation and celestial alegría. Like, what could be a creative way that I could like market that in a way that also fits in the spirit of what I love to do? And so I like had this moment, I remember, because my partner Jose was like, why are you so excited? And I was like, I have this idea and I'm going to work with Bruce on it. It's going to be so amazing. So basically what happened is we got together. We had a call maybe like a week later. But in that interim, I saw that Lady Justice on their Instagram and on their social media just put out an inquiry like, how can we be partnering with the community right now? And I remembered that campaign they did with Lady Gang, because Lady Gang was really creative. She did like a whole scan the can kind of little song and stuff. I was like, that really stuck with me. And I really like Lady Justice. I have been following them since last year, and I got to go to one of their events at the end of last year. And I was like, oh, what if we put all of this together? And I was like, of course, Bruce would be the best person to partner with. And so here we are. We just dreamt it up.
We're here. Yeah. And I have to say, Celeste was super excited to work with you, Lolita. She was like, I want to work with Lolita. We're doing this.
Yeah.
So I think we're about there. I think we can get into this performance. I'm super excited to hear some of these new songs and some of our favorites, like Toda Mi Gente. So we are going to hear a poem first, and then we'll get into this performance. But thank you so much, both of you, and of course, Betsy over at Lady Justice. We're going to get into this performance from Lolita here on Colorful Colorado Collaborations.
Hi, friends. My name is Lolita. And one of my favorite things in the whole wide world to do is write poetry and rap. So I'm going to do a little bit of that for you today. Here we go. My silence says more than your meaningless words. Empty your mind and I'll show you indisputable proof. Clench your teeth around your pride. Swallow it too. If you can't stomach your pride, you can't digest the truth. My tongue twisters, blister lips, I spit quicker. You split like strippers, I deliver the shivers. Potent poet in motion, hear my poems and focus on the message you're spoken. Got your spirit evoked and your ego is choking. Alphabetical alchemy, listen close to the magic. See no illusions or rabbits, these fellas tipping their hats. In respect for my talents, I leave the people astounded. There's no tiptoeing around it. So many loud mouths, but my talents tower the loudest. Because my tongue is the trigger, and I've loaded the steel. Look down the barrel of my thoughts and feel the heat to your grill.
Sin comida en la barriga, la pirañita va espiando por la avenida, olor a sangre en el aire. Es mejor robarte que morir de hambre.
Soy de monte, soy de mar, la tierra es mi hogar, el viento me pasea por aquí y por allá.
Sangre
día en el suelo
seco del desierto, como de tu carne antes de morir de hambre sin remordimiento. No hay ley en la tierra de los muertos. Si te toca, lo siento, no lo siento. Mundo cruel toma sangre de necesidad, porque el humano solo quiere vivir un día más. Por las calles, por el bosque, el desierto y el mar. Supervivencia es el propósito y nada más.
En la barriga, la pirañita va espiando por la avenida. Olor a sangre en el aire. Es mejor robarte que morir de hambre.
Si te mueves despacito, todo vengo y te lo quito rapidito. Que te explico, pues tenlo bien entendido. A nopal se le arriman cuando tiene tunas. Si tienes muchas, más gente viene y te las tumba. Cheques y lana les llueven a los que tienen fama. Redes sociales te atrapan como una telaraña. Luego la gente pregunta que por qué hay pirañas. Mientras haya capitalismo, los ricos bailan. Toman ventaja de los pobres que a huevo trabajan para ganarse su pan y para que compartan con familiares. Todos somos iguales, pero la idea de clase previene que todo avance. Wealth inequality is obviously a problem. See someone when we stop it and start fixing our economy. They say I'm more likely to win the lottery. Society seems to have adopted this monopoly.
Nacimos del aire, crecimos en desiertos, estrellas fugaces, regresando al cielo. ¿Cómo está usted? Gusto conocerlo. Recuerda los mexicas, reflejo de ancestros. Soy eterno, un vampiro, mero de los listos. Si la luna queda llena, hombre lobo bendecido. Si me fijo, vi reflejo, oscuridades de mi vida. Soy piraña y yo no quiero, necesito. Para amanecer, bailando con el diablo, con cara de un ángel, diciendo que te amo, endeudado sin enganche. El peso es por dentro, siempre hay un elefante.
Sin comida en la barriga, la pirañita va espiando por la avenida. Olor a sangre en el aire. Es mejor robarte que morir de hambre. Te veo en mi reflejo, los dolores y deseos. No eres invisible, tu vida es sagrada, te siento como el viento. Te veo en mi reflejo, los dolores y deseos. No eres invisible, tu vida es sagrada, te siento como el viento.
Yeah.
Wisdom we find is all in our mind, all over the places and the spaces over time. Wisdom we find is all in our mind, all over the places and the spaces over time. Wisdom.
Wicked illusion of time. Often I find wise women cry, wounded by the warfare in their minds, wiping tears from their wet eyes. Wine with wise women will open your blind eyes. White lies are white liars. I hear Wall Street is hiring white collar criminals. Your words are worthless. Seriously, your soul is worth it over some paper? I swear to God, this world is crooked. Welcome to the wild womb where the water broke and the warriors born. Whistleblowers unite. It's about time for a wake-up call.
What good is the mind if the mind isn't mine? Time isn't time, an illusion is life. You should die before dying. To see you cannot die. When you're blind, you will find what you do beyond sight.
Wisdom we find is all in our mind, all over the places and the spaces over time. Wisdom we find is all in our mind, all over the places and the spaces over time. Wisdom.
Been frontin' about my feelings so that you don't notice. I'm fed up with your motives. I'm done. I thought maybe we'd fix it, but I'm tired, so listen. I'm over this addiction. I don't need your love. Ups and downs, yeah, I've seen enough. But you'll never go far when you're acting like that now. You know you got no heart if you can do me like that. How?
Could you be my friend? You told me till the end. You know you were my star, but you were always so far. Sober without your love. Sober without your love. Sober without your love. Sober without your love. You told me the other day our love is a mistake, that this is too much work for you. You think you need a break. Built for the streets, not fit to keep a queen. I wanna be here, but it's time I leave. But you'll never go far when you're acting like that now. You know you got no heart if you can do me like that. Could you be my friend? You told me till the end. You know you were my star, but you were always so far. Sober without your love. Sober without your love. Sober without your love. Sober without your love. Yo, I think it's time that we tap into our divine feminine and our divine masculine, and we start building relationships that are healthy and balanced. But you'll never go far when you're acting like that now. You know you got no heart if you can do me like that. Could you be my friend? You told me till the end. You know you were my star, but you were always so far. Sober without your love. 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 Fresh out of a 5-year thing, tired of being someone's queen, unappreciated, so you know I'm doing finer things. I know you wish you did me right, I bet you'd have a better life. Now you can't sleep and I'm living my dreams like all I do is sleep through life. Don't message me now that you see I own this shit like Monopoly. DM stay on red like traffic jams. You had a chance, stop stalking me. I swear I'm on the come up, I don't regret the past, I'm living well, I'm loving life, no kiss and tell. I'll take the win, you can take the L. Take the L. Before you there was me, wore my heart on my sleeve. There's a door you can't leave on, good. Dumb and loving only, I feel no sympathy. You did me dirty and that's on karma. Yeah, baby, that's on karma.
The music's calling my name, and so I talk to her about the things that have changed, about this odd future. Things are all new, huh? Didn't think it'd be like this. When I think it'd be right, is it possible that things would have been fine if? Can't think that lost time you can't bring back. I live for now, but I learned from those 5 years, like where I've been at. I got to get where I'm going. You have to follow your path. We had some really great moments, now you're just a part of my past.
Before you there was me, wore my heart on my sleeve. There's a door you can't leave on, good. Done and loving only, I feel no sympathy. You did me dirty and that's on karma. Yeah, baby, that's on karma. I love myself
myself, flaws and all. You didn't break me, I'm standing tall. So high on life, I could reach the stars. When they hear my bars, I hear applause. I love my job, I love my life. I work so hard, I don't socialize with just anybody. So don't tell me you're that somebody, cause I'm not just anybody. If it's not about a dollar, don't bother me. Got a lot on my plate, there's no stopping me. Too much sauce so the haters can't copy me. Some try, but they're doing it sloppily. Thank you, God, for the perfect timing. It's my turn and I know I'm shining. Caught off guard, man, it surprised me. Talk about the silver lining. Before you, there was me. Wore my heart on my sleeve. There's a door you can leave on, cause done been loving on me. I feel no sympathy. You must do me dirty, and that's some karma. Yeah, baby, that's some karma.
Are we live?
We are live.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. Shout out to Doghouse Music Studios and shout out to Colorful Colorado Collaborations. I'm so excited to be a part of this. Make sure that y'all are leaving your comments. I can see everything. What's up, Lino? What's up, K Doggy Sanchez? I love the name. Marla, hello. Thank you for joining in. Leticia, Leti, hey, how's it going? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be right back. We won't? Okay. Let's talk. We're doing a quick little mic check, you guys.
Are we good? Oh, switch mics.
Okay, we're going to commercials.
Te fuiste sin decirme por qué, pa' dónde, con quién. Entonces me voy al disco sin ti, con mi crew, a ver si es true que no te importa. Te encuentro con otra, ya basta con nuestra historia. Empezar de nuevo, dejar lo viejo, ya está hecho. El otro día que salí, tomé para olvidarme de ti. Estás tatuado en mí, estoy loca por ti. El otro día que salí, tomé para olvidarme de ti. Estás tatuado en mí, estoy loca por ti. Estoy loca por ti. Estoy loca por ti. Tomé para olvidarme de ti. Estás tatuado en mí, estoy loca por. Me ahogo en tus ojos, adicta a tus mentiras. Labios de miel, tramposos pero sabrosos. Piel de oro brillante me ciega, lengua de culebra, seductor de profesión. ¿Cómo escaparme de ti si fuiste el mejor parte de mí? El otro día que salí, tomé para olvidarme de ti. Estás tatuado en mí, estoy loca por ti. El otro día que salí, tomé para olvidarme de ti. Estás tatuado en mí, estoy loca por ti. Estoy loca por ti. Estoy loca por ti. Estoy loca por ti. Si me quieres llamar,
loca por ti. El otro día que salí, tomé para olvidarme de ti. Estás tatuado en mí. Estoy loca por ti. Estoy loca por ti. Estoy loca por ti.
The universe is inside your eyes, bright like a million smiles. Spread your wings like a butterfly. Even if the world's on fire, aquí quedamos peleando con todo el mundo a tu lado, bailando siempre riéndonos. Toda mi gente say oh, oh. They shoot us down, down, shut us down, oh, oh. Ya basta con la injusticia, no. Pero el espíritu no muere.
Kill another king, another queen, black goes the sound.
Balas vuelan, oh, oh, como pájaros, oh, oh. Por las tardes, oh, oh, en las calles, oh, oh. Balas vuelan, oh, oh, como pájaros, oh, oh. Matándonos, oh, oh, toda mi gente, oh, oh. This is for my people on lockdown. This is for my people that shut down. They keep us on a need to know basis, giving us long faces, but we gotta keep believing and walk proud. Pissed up, this is a march for madness. Get lit, it's time to spark the masses. Chin up, get up, let's fight the fascists. Toda mi gente, oh, oh. They shoot us down, down, shut us down, oh, oh. Ya basta con la injusticia, no. Pero el espíritu no muere.
Kill another king, another queen, black goes the sound.
Balas vuelan, oh, oh, como pájaros, oh, oh. Por las tardes, oh, oh, en las calles, oh, oh. Balas vuelan, oh, oh, como pájaros, oh, oh. Matándonos, oh, oh, toda mi gente, oh, oh.
people still suffering from gun violence, poverty, dysfunction. We need freedom, justice, and true power. Unite, rise up, and be our own saviors for liberation, honor, equality. Let's upset the system with dignity. We had enough, it's time to stop stressing. Respect and love life, more blessings.
They shoot us down, shut it down, oh, oh. Ya basta con la injusticia, no. Pero el espíritu no muere, matándonos, oh, oh. Toda mi gente.
Do you never see?
Así como lo hago yo, como vago celebrando. Si me dice que me calme, no, el ritmo no para. Desde Canadá y Perú, dice vente tú. Gusto de verte, gusto de conocerte. Así como lo hago, moviendo con la gente y presente con el barrio. Mueve la cadera para arriba, para abajo. Atréveme y traviesa tan bonita que te amo.
Quiero sentir tus dedos sobre mi piel. Quiero sentir tu cuerpo sobre el mío otra vez. No quiero olvidar tus besos dulces. No quiero vivir una noche más sin él.
1, 2, 3, come on.
Quiero sentir tus dedos sobre mi piel. Quiero sentir tu cuerpo sobre el mío
quién llegó. El grupo que te provoca, inspira a hacer cosas que te gustan y te forman.
Quiero sentir tus dedos sobre mi piel. Quiero sentir tu cuerpo sobre el mío otra vez. No quiero olvidar tus besos dulces. No quiero vivir una noche más sin él. Quiero sentir tus dedos sobre mi piel. Quiero sentir tu cuerpo sobre el mío otra vez. No quiero olvidar tus besos dulces. No quiero vivir una noche más sin él. Quiero sentir tus dedos sobre mi piel. Quiero sentir tu cuerpo sobre el mío otra vez. No quiero olvidar tus besos dulces. No quiero vivir una noche más sin él. Hay que vivir y bailar, vivir y bailar. Hay que vivir y bailar. Hay que vivir y bailar, vivir y bailar. Hay que vivir y bailar.
Come on.
Hay que vivir y bailar, vivir y bailar. Hay que vivir y bailar. Hay que vivir y bailar, vivir y bailar. Hay que vivir y bailar.
Make some noise for Elias Garcia.
Fresh out of a 5-year thing, tired of being someone's queen, unappreciated. So you know I'm doing finer things. I know you wish you did me right, bet you'd have a better life. Now you can't sleep and I'm living my dreams like all I do is sleep through life. Don't message me now that you see I own this shit like Monopoly. DM stay on red like traffic jams. You had a chance, stop stalking me. I swear I'm on the come up. I don't regret the past, I'm living well. I'm loving life, no kiss and tell. I'll take the win, you can take the L.
Hey y'all, and we're back. Thank you so much for sticking with us. A few technical difficulties and
All right, I am Alicia Bruce Trujillo, host and co-founder of Colorful Colorado Collaborations. So I want to get to know this band a little bit better. Let me come into this view a little bit better. Hey, yeah, I'm somewhere. So we've got a ton of musicians here on the stage right now from 2MX2, also Kid Astronaut. We've got Elias Garcia back there. So I want to hear what everybody else has been up to, what everybody else is up to. Let's start with Kid Astronaut. You've got a live stream coming up here and here very soon.
September 24th is my live stream. I'm going to be on the same stage. Thank you to 2MX2 and Owen for setting it up. We've been doing these quarterly live streams, so hopefully we'll be able to keep that going.
And I've been loving your guys' latest collaboration, by the way, 2MX2, Kid Astronaut. 2MX2, what are you guys up to? I mean, you guys have been super busy for the past couple of weeks at least.
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. So we've been just perfecting the craft of live streaming, which we haven't got there yet, but we're working on it because, you know, it's where we're at now. Is
whole new world.
The only way we could hit the stage, we love the stage, so the only way we could hit the stage is by socially distance from people at home, you know? Not these guys. These guys have already contaminated me. So, you know.
Familia is fine.
Yeah.
All right, and Elias, can we get like a little update for? Okay, Elias Garcias are like a part of everything here. We're going to also be collaborating with one of your other bands, Pink Hawks, for episode 2. So tell me a little bit more about what Pink Hawks is up to.
So-
Lots going on.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Brucey, for passing it off like that, because Pink Hawks is a blast to work with. I've been working with them for almost coming up on 3 years now, and I'm so blessed because we're going to be coming out with another beer with Celeste, and we're going to be doing something that's going to be around the form of Occupy. Now, this is a movement that goes back to 2012, but it is still so heavy and influential today. So we're going to be releasing a single. We have one single out called Elote. The next one's coming out called Occupy. Check out for art from my boy Diego Flores for the cover on that. Wow, amazing artist. Check his stuff out. But Pink Hawks are going to be performing on that, and we're also going to be doing a collaboration with the assistance of 2MX2 to be able to produce this and get this out to y'all on the interwebs. Be on the lookout for that. Those dates are going to be coming to you soon. I wish I had known them, but they are here, and they are coming. So
All right.
that, and then Moncochetes is going to be playing this weekend. Tomorrow, on Saturday, we're going to be playing on 44th and Pecos, riding around in a pedicab for your pleasure. So if you want, come and have some beers at the park at Sunnyside and just hang out on the north side, get some tamales from a local business right there called Pochitos. Amazing stuff. Go and come and hang out with us. We're going to be having a really good time, and I'd love to see all of y'all's faces.
All right, so we got a ton of stuff happening with Denver music right now, and we're going to get back to more music from Lolita, our first collaborator here with Colorful Colorado Collaborations.
Yeah.
Fresh out of a fighter thing, tired of being someone's queen, unappreciated, so you know I'm doing finer things. I know you wish you did me right, bet you'd have a better life. Now you can't sleep and I'm living my dreams like all I.
Too often we are stripped of our power. Far too many young people being robbed of their lives by gunfire, police brutality, meaningless violence. At times it can feel like there's nothing we can do about it. But our voices united can change the world. This is for all my people. Toda mi gente. The universe is inside your eyes, bright like a million smiles. Spread your wings like a butterfly, even with the world on fire. Aquí quedamos peleando, con todo el mundo a tu lado, bailando siempre riéndonos. Toda mi gente say oh, eh, oh. They shoot us down, down, shut it down, oh, eh, oh. Ya basta con la injusticia, no.
Another king, another queen, black goes the sound.
Balas vuelan, oh, como pájaros, oh, por las tardes, oh, en las calles, oh, balas vuelan, oh, como pájaros, oh, matándonos, oh, toda mi gente, oh. Toda mi gente, oh. This is for my people on lockdown. This is for my people they shot down. They keep us on a need-to-know basis, giving us long faces, but we gotta keep believing and walk proud. This is a march for madness. It's time to spark the masses. Get up, let's fight the fascists. Toda mi gente, oh. They shoot us down, down, shut it down, oh, oh. Ya basta con la injusticia, no.
King, another queen, black goes the sound.
Balas vuelan, oh, como pájaros, oh, por las tardes, oh, en las calles, oh, balas vuelan, oh, como pájaros, oh, matándonos, oh, toda mi gente, oh. Toda mi gente, oh. The universe is inside your eyes, bright like a million smiles. Spread your wings like a butterfly, even with the world on fire. The universe is inside your eyes,
Leading with the world on fire. Universe is inside your eyes. Bright like a million smiles. Spread your wings like a butterfly.
Lolita and Colorful Colorado collaborations. Thank you so much for being here with us and for
Thank
your
you.
performance. Big thank you to Celeste La Alegria and Celeste Martinez. Also, big thank you to Lady Justice. Also have to thank DHM here in Lafayette, Colorado. And who am I missing? I know we've got plenty more people to thank. To MX2 TV for doing AV this evening. This is Colorful Colorado Collaborations. I am Bruce Trujillo, where we are doing collaboration,
creativity,
and commerce.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
That's a wrap.
Love y'all. Thank you.